Gina Bellman and Beth Riesgraf return for the highly anticipated return of Leverage Redemption. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Gina, I want to talk a little bit about the connection to Chicago here. But first, it's been almost 2 years since we got our last episode. I mean, what does it feel like to be able to bring, the storylines? I mean, so much was going on with Sophie last season. I mean, tell me a little bit about, this anticipation for the new season.
It's so exciting. I mean, Sophie gets to sit down for a minute this season because she's just loving life, but everybody else has got a lot going on. No, we've got the bad guys just keep coming, as in the real world. We're enjoying taking them down. We've got many episodes about like new technology, dating episodes. We've got an episode about a con that takes place in the future. We've got a film noir episode that Beth shines in and she can tell you more about. So yeah, we're creating wonderful worlds for people to step into.
And Beth, I want to talk a little bit about the trailer. I mean, obviously we see something happen to you and everyone's eyes are just like, what is happening with Parky? What's going on? I mean, tell me a little bit, because I feel this also gives a little bit of an opportunity for more of your backstory.
I mean, I can't tell you what happens, but what I can say is Parker is a little jealous of Astrid, okay? And there's a little contention there. And I think something happens where we're both very concerned about Sophie, and the fight to see who can get there first really takes you on a wild ride. And it's pretty remarkable. And I think, her growth comes in a few episodes this season. She really does have chapters of growth. And one of them is, discovering that maybe Astrid isn't as bad as she thought, and there is a camaraderie and sort of a core essence that they share. And part of that is the love they have for Sophie, but also believing in the mission and what they do is right. Maybe they can kind of get along.
I mean, that leads you right into that, Gina, because, with Sophie and Astrid and, kind of you putting yourself back out there into the dating world is kind of, I think, what we might see in season number 3. I mean, tell me a little bit about, the character development, that we're going to see, with Sophie, and, when you got the script, what your reaction was.
I'm so excited this year because I thought it was time for Sophie to actually have some fun. I really enjoyed season 1 and season 2, but she had a lot on her plate, dealing with the grief and dealing with becoming the mastermind, and last year dealing with all these characters from her past. And her redemption story. So this year it was so lovely to be able to focus on romance and having a little crush in the episode that Beth directs, and it was a really, really lovely storyline for me. And also to think about that relationship with Astrid going forward. I mean, there's some like funny mentions of her talking about, what do I buy my stepdaughter? What do I give my stepdaughter as a present? And Alice's character is like, well, not something stolen. Agent. So Sophie gets to be a little more relaxed this season, a little more flirty and a little more fun, and leaving the drama to some of the other characters.
You just made me laugh right now, because you've always made me laugh. Jane from Coupling is one of my all-time favorite characters. I mean, I love the concept of the show, but you being a part of it, Gina, was just the reason that I was like, I have to start watching the series. I mean, tell me a little bit about her legacy.
Well, I mean, I think that, I feel so privileged that I got to play Jane in Coupling, and that she's just such a treasured character to so many people. But I think that for me as an actor, it really like gave me license to be goofy and to kind of embrace the goof. And I think that that's something that we love to do on Leverage and Leverage Redemption, is that none of us are afraid to be goofballs and to look a little silly and to be a little embarrassed. And I think that's what the audiences have kind of like fallen in love with about us.
Was it Leverage or Leverage Redemption with the first episodes in Chicago?
That was the Leverage first pilot episode. And none of us had ever met. And how long did we spend there? A couple of weeks, Beth?
It was like a 17 or 18-day shoot.
Yeah. So yeah. That was like, it's a very special place in our hearts, because it's where we all came together and we all met for the first time, and it's all where we bonded after work, in bars and wonderful restaurants, and really, really enjoying the vibe. I do remember this one funny story, if we have time, which was do you remember, Beth, when we had to do the scene where we're standing in the park, and it was right on the last day of the shoot, and the weather had been really good to us. And then we kept going, what's all the fuss about? Why do people always talk about the climate in Chicago? And then suddenly this wind came off the lake, hit us on the very last day of the shoot. And we're all standing there going, oh, this is that cold wind coming off the lake, and I think they had to use special effects in those days, which weren't as like accessible as now, to take out the kind of blue tint to our skin and the like smoke coming out of our mouths.
Yeah, and that wind also kicked in when I was on the last day of the shoot. I was hanging upside down on a wire on a 44-story building, and it kicked in and blew me over the edge and then back, and I was like, ah! Like, it was so scary.
But
You got the full.
We fell in love with each other, and we fell in love with each other in Chicago. So it'll always be a really special place to us.
Yeah, that's true.
That is wonderful. First of all, you got the full Chicago experience too, Beth. Thank you. After that experience, thank you so much for still being a part of the series.
Yes, thank you.
Leverage Redemption returns to us April 17th on Prime Video.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.